Hi, everyone. I'm Dave McKenna from Grantek, here to talk about some of the challenges in code dating that can be solved with our label printer control solution. I think we can all agree it's really hard to get a date right. So let's say you're on a manufacturing line producing some delicious crackers, and those crackers go through a code dater. That code dater is configured by an operator to set the best before date, the date format, as well as the date itself to print on the packaging. And that goes to our consumer, and they read that and rely upon that information. So what are some of the ways that this can go wrong? One of the obvious ones is just having an incorrect date set on it in the first place. One of the common times that this happens is when your product now expires in the following year. Your product has been expiring in December of a year, but now it's going to be expiring in January of the next year. So let's say your operator didn't configure that properly, and instead of rolling that year, you're now expiring in January of 2022 when you should have been expiring in January of 2023. Your code dater is set on that. It's printing that on your packaging. And then your packaging, after it's printed and shipped and packed, arrives at your customer. They receive it and they're taking a look at it. They see that you've got that incorrect code date on there, and your customer is not happy. They're holding back trailers. They're refusing to accept product. And now you've got to pull a recall. You've got to dump all that product. And that's a lot of money and a lot of waste. What's one of the other ways that code dates can go wrong? Another one is with the date code formats for different regions or different countries. Different countries have different regulations on the format, the order of day and month and year, and the number of digits on it that they want. So let's say you're producing product in North America and shipping it around the world down to Australia. You've produced that, you've shipped it, you printed it, you code dated it. It's being received and inspected by an Australian, and it's not their date code format. They're not willing to accept that. That's not something they can sell in their country or region. So now they're not going to accept delivery of that, the Australian. And you're going to have to throw all of that out in the garbage. That's a lot of waste. That's a lost product. And you potentially got to pay to ship that back to your home region for disposal. What's another way that you can have problems with code dates? Another is at changeover. So let's say you've got a busy operator that's maintaining multiple lines. They're switching back and forth and spinning as busy operators do, but they neglect to get to that one line at a changeover and change the code date format. You're running production. You're printing code dates on cases. You're printing code dates on cartons, but you haven't changed that one machine. So now it's printing the code date format from a different product. It doesn't have the right shelf life, potentially. It doesn't have the right date code format if there's a cross-region issue there. That's not going to be acceptable product. Again, you've got to have a recall. You've got to throw that product in the garbage. If it didn't leave your facility, at least you're not having a recall. But again, you're still wasting product. You're still wasting packaging. You're generating garbage. So what's one of the ways to solve all of these? Grantek's label printer control solution. So with Grantek's label printer control solution, we have something that's customizable, that can interface with multiple vendors of packaging, marking equipment, and that can be made very simple. So your operators are really picking only the SKU that they're running, or maybe not even doing that if we can pull that information from the line. And we can set that date format, we can set that shelf life date number and do that calculation automatically for them to prevent waste. Another opportunity here is we can integrate that with verification inspection to make sure not only that the correct information is selected and printed, but that it also appeared and printed properly on the packaging. Grantek's label printer control solution, one way to ensure better code dates in manufacturing. Thank you.